How's it going so far? There's still a little bit more to show you in today's Nintendo Direct, so we hope you'll stick with us. Next, please take a look at this.
Even though that has nothing to do with Nintendo. I want that cave
Hello there,
up there.
I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm sure a lot of you saw me and thought there might be news about the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share right now. We apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year. For now, we'll have to ask you to wait just a bit longer. While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
The original Legend of Zelda! I played that game, and I beat it easily, even though my dad took 30... Oh, Hey! You can play Skyward Sword on Nintendo Switch now! Skyward Sword! Yay! I heard gear on him is cringy. Yay! Skyward Sword! I'm definitely gonna play this! Although motion controls might be I'm not a big fan of motion controls.
What you've just seen is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. This game originally released in 2011 on the Wii console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword featured a control scheme in which players would use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield. With the increased processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive. And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold two Joy-Con controllers.
Okay.
The Joy-Con controller in your right hand is the sword. Swing it to have Link swing his sword in the game. The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks. You can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical movements add a sense of urgency and tension to combat. But we've also made it possible to play the game with button controls to ensure it can be played in handheld mode or on the Nintendo Switch Lite system. After mulling over how to assign different gameplay elements to different buttons, we decided to apply the sword motions to tilting the right control stick. Tilt the stick down when you want to swing the sword downward. To swing to the right, to the left, or diagonally, just tilt the stick in the respective direction.
I like games with combat systems where you can do like cool.
Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers. The right Joy-Con controller is themed after the Master Sword, while the left features a Hylian shield motif.
Oh, okay.
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, as the game depicting the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda timeline, details the events around the creation of the Master Sword itself.
If you want me to play Breath of the Wild, I don't think I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna be way too mad about that no Triforce and weapons breaking. And Lionel's killing me every single time.
HD launches July 16th.
And stuff.
Following this Nintendo,
I'm gonna play that game. It's cool.
And the specially designed Joy-Con controllers will launch on the game's release date at your local retailers. Many of you may already know this, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was the last original console game prior to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, and it was still following the established conventions of The Legend of Zelda. However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Using the sailcloth to descend in midair, a stamina gauge that depleted as you scaled walls with vines or ran.
Yeah, you're just making
Even the
it
concept
worse.
of collecting items to upgrade gear.
Now that
Those of
just
you who
makes
played
it more
The
like
Legend
Breath
of
of the
Zelda
Wild.
Breath of the Wild will give this game a try as well.
Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
What if I'm playing with the controllers that go like that? Because I do have that controller. The rest of those are broken.
Well, what did you think? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been optimized for Nintendo Switch. It includes intuitive motion controls and button controls by tilting the right control stick.
So anyway, the video ended, but my favorite part was Splatoon 3 and that you can play Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild 2, there's no news. At least they mentioned it and said that we'll have to wait a little longer, and they say that the development is going really well. So maybe we'll see it soon.